Tell you what, let's do one more non-destructive dodge burn kind of thing to an image. Open up Pyramid right here. This is not a photo spin image, but the problem with this one, these were taken a long time ago, over 25 years ago, and they were film converted digital. See how the sky drops off up here? It gets really dark. I want to fix that problem. This area I don't want to change. So we got a couple of things we're going to do. Number one, we're going to make a new layer. Just a plain old run-of-the-mill layer. Click the button right down there to do that. Change the blending mode of that layer to overlay, but it is still a blank layer. We need a completely perfectly neutral color. Now in the previous lesson, if you use a perfectly neutral gray with this layer, with overlay, basically it won't do a thing. I don't want it to change these areas, I just want it to change this up here. So let's go into our color panel. Now if you don't see that, you can get it from the word window right up here. Now I want you to change the RGB values to 128. Press the tab key. 128. 128. That's a perfectly neutral gray. Now you've got one of those on your swatches panel. This is just a different way to make one. You will notice that since we have done that, the color is indeed right down here, and that's where I want it. I want it down there. I want to reverse the colors. Little X, little bent arrow right there. Press the letter X on your keyboard, because I want to start with white. Now white is going to lighten. The neutral won't change anything. So from about here down, I'm happy with the image. It's here up I've got the problem with. So with layer 1 with an overlay blending mode selected, come over here and pick up your gradient tool. Make sure by clicking this little down arrow right there that you have this option selected, which is foreground to background, and this option right here, which is linear gradient. Incidentally, although we don't change these things very often, make sure your blending mode is at normal and opacity is at 100%. I'm going to get right about here, and I'm going to drag down using the shift key to keep it straight to about there, and you can see it's beginning to lighten that. I think I'm going to try that again. You can redo this. I'm going to try drawing, say, about like that. Because that area, if I turn that on and off, you can see it's just beginning to lighten the sky, but it's not impacting anything else because of the gradient we're using. I want another one of these so I can lighten it that much more. So make a copy of layer 1 with a Control J. And as you can see, it gets lighter. If we do it again, it gets even lighter. You say, well, that's a little bit more than what I really wanted, but I don't want the one before that. Well, change the opacity a little bit. Total control, 3 of these overlay layers, it took to brighten up that sky. But since the bottom is a neutral gray, it didn't impact anything down here. Just one more way to non-destructively edit an image in Adobe Photoshop. On to the next.